Extra Story. The details behind the opening of the Steel Ball Run race. The story of Steven Steele, 51. The promoter of this race is as follows. Steven was born in New York in 1804, the fourth child of 7 to an Irish immigrant family. His father was a poor blacksmith. When Steven was 15, he fell in love with a beautiful daughter of a florist and the two vowed to be together. But his love was suddenly taken from him in a carriage accident. Falling into a deep state of despair, Steven promised himself that he would never fall in love. Thus, he joined the cavalry. At the age of 16, he was already 190 centimeters tall. He looked almost like a commander. However, he was never sent to war, nor did he go on expeditions. He got typhoid fever from the rations and therefore placed in a deserted island hospital for 2 years. There is an interesting 35-year-long correlation between Steven Steele's life and the Steel Ball Run race. Allow yourself a moment to look at this timeline. 1958, age 18. Steven is let out of the hospital but quits the cavalry in low spirits. Steven's special talent is being able to swallow goldfish and make them come out of his nose. He does this in his part-time job in the circus. Dressed as an Asian, he becomes a hit. 1859, age 19. Steven becomes the star of the circus. 1860, age 20. Steven goes on a tour across America with the circus. 1861, 21. Steven introduces the midget woman wrestling, the bug-eyed man, and pigs on a tightrope into the circus. Once again, it's a hit. 1863, age 23. Steven gets into a large-scale fight with the circus and is fired on the grounds that he's gotten too big of a head and has been ordering the others around as if he was the headmaster. 1865, age 25. Steven becomes a heavyweight boxer. 1866, age 26. Steven becomes a debt collector. 1867, age 27. Steven ignores a pre-rigged game and beats his opponent senseless. Steven is targeted by the gang and is shot right in the knee. 1868, age 28. Steven disappears. One theory is that he became a sailor and escaped overseas. 1881, age 41. Steven is seen again in San Francisco. He reports to EGW newspapers that he is going to Costa Rica to look for dinosaurs, and immediately the papers with the article about Steven start to sell. 1883, age 43. Steven dubs himself a promoter, capturing the Yeti in the Rocky Mountains, looking for the 3-legged cavefish, in search for the 20-meter-long penguin, the Newlyweds in a Haunted Mansion, a documentary. All these becoming hits. 1886, age 46. Steven buys himself a mansion in San Jose and hires 8 servants. Steven's hobby includes collecting art pieces, buying works from artists such as the French painter Monet. Steven applies for university, but is denied. But one day, someone tried to sell a story about aliens when in reality it was just a shaved monkey. Though Steven had nothing to do with this scandal, he was also dubbed a fraud. The tides turned against him and he was treated like a petty scammer. No one was willing to listen to him.
I was not like that. My stories were about fantasy.
Forced to sell his mansion and buried in debt, Steven was hurled into darkness again. And this is when it came to him. That's right. When he was still young, there was one thing he wasn't able to do in the cavalry. A long-distance horse ride. I should organize a long-distance race. But his reliability factor was at an all-time low. Although he searched for sponsors every day, all they did was scoff at him. Not having eaten and severely drunk, he sat at the edge of the street.
If you're going to plan a race, it should be across the entire American continent. And the winnings should be huge, like $50 million. Real dreams should be that big.
A little girl who was listening to his mumbling was talking to him.
What idiot would sponsor a stupid proposal like that? Go away! Leave me alone!
After that, he returned to the bar, got into a fight, and slept behind the urinals. The next day, when he woke up,
What is it? You want to fight? Let's go then.
We want to hear your story. The one you were talking about in the bar last night. Can you really do it? Organize a cross-continental race?
We're from the E&W papers, and we know the age of sports is coming. We're willing to sponsor your cause.
What?
the story had spread and had gradually gotten bigger and bigger. The number of sponsors inflated to 20, including large companies, and the prize money was in fact $50 million. The race was to start in 2 years. And 2 years later he remembered.
That girl I met in the street, she was the one that gave me a chance. That's right. I should go thank her.
And when he met her again, she was grown up, and she was identical to his first love back when he was still a young man. That's how it seemed to Stephen. Suddenly, the tears began to fall. Though he wanted to stop them, they kept on falling. He hadn't cried in 34 years, and Stephen told her father, who was there alongside her.
This might sound insane, but I want you to let me marry your daughter. I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to live for your daughter my whole life.
And this is how it came to be. Stephen Steele's fantasy.